morning, everybody. Welcome to a Cavan Radio Mornings at the Cavan election special. It's Ollie with you between 7 and 9. This is an hour-long election special repeated at both 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. to bring you up to speed with all the best bits of our live election coverage from Monday evening and fill you in on the score with the elections across the NWT. Coming up in the next hour, we'll go through all the results. I'll give you everything you need to know about who got in and where. There were some big results last night across the Northwest Territories. We'll fill you in on all of that. You will, of course, hear from Rebecca Alty, the new Mayor-elect of Yellowknife, who was victorious on the night ahead of Adrian Bell here in Yellowknife. We'll hear from Adrian Bell as well, and we'll also hear from some city councillors who've been re-elected on what they imagine the future to be like with some big changes afoot on council. All of that is coming up. We'll run you through absolutely everything you need to know. This is a Mornings at the Cabin election special.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Welcome along. This is Mornings at the Cabin's election special. I am Ollie with an hour-long special for you at 7 and 8 a.m. today. First things first, let's look back at how the night unfolded here in Yellowknife. Rebecca Alty is your new mayor-elect. She defeated Adrian Bell by just over 800 votes. Bob Stewart, 101 votes. Gerald Siverston, 93 votes. Never factored into proceedings in the end. Rebecca Alty steamed away. She had the most votes from the start of the evening. That's how things unfolded. We got the first results around about 8:40, 8:45. They showed Rebecca Alty to have like a few hundred votes in the lead. And as the results kept coming through from the different polling stations, it became abundantly clear just how far ahead she would be. And then we reached a point in the night where Shannon Moore, our reporter at City Hall, happened to cross Adrian Bell just as he saw the latest results come through with about half of votes counted, and Adrian Bell decided it was time for him to make a statement. This is the moment, speaking live on Cavan Radio, that Adrian Bell conceded the Yellowknife 2018 municipal election.
So, Adrian, how are you feeling at this point in the night?
Well, I'm tired.
Yeah,
for the most part. It's been a long 6 weeks, but seeing the results come in here, the people have spoken, and I've called Rebecca Alty and I've congratulated her on a campaign well run, and I just came down to City Hall here to congratulate any other candidates who are around.
What's next?
Well, for the first couple days here, I think more sleep than usual.
Oh, please do that for yourself.
and then it's time to reevaluate, because it has been a lot of work. And this has been a focus of mine for quite a while.
Yeah.
So it'll be time to, rethink things, and but for the most part, just taking some time to figure out what's next.
Adrian Bell there with Shannon Moore talking about the point at which he conceded the election to Rebecca Alty. You can find out much more, of course, about this election, the council election, all the elections across the NWT on our website, cavanradio.ca. Make sure you head there. The full news summary is next.
Like the podcast? Listen live. Mornings at the Cabin, 7 till 9 each weekday.
Welcome back to Cavan Radio's morning election special, wrapping up the best of our evening election night live show from Monday night and filling you in on what happened. Rebecca Alty is your new mayor in Yellowknife. We haven't heard from her yet. We should do that now. She joined us on the phone from her campaign party last night. And, of course, the first question is, how does it feel to just be elected the next mayor of Yellowknife?
Pretty excited, definitely in shock, and really humbled.
What has tonight been like for you watching those results come in?
It was kind of funny because after the polls closed, I went for an acupuncture appointment and I was like, just going to get my energy level balanced. And then I came out and walked into my house and I was like, hey guys, any results yet? And my sister's like, yeah, you're in the lead. And I was like, oh, well, if you're new to this, it's just probably the first box or whatever. But so it was definitely exciting and just trying to absorb it all right now.
I mean, the obvious question is, who in their right mind goes for an acupuncture session on election night?
It's perfect. You just rebalance your energy.
And how is that energy right now? That energy can't be balanced right now.
No, it's pretty balanced. Yeah. I'm like, just kind of, I guess, in shock. And it's a lot of hard work campaigning, so it's always appreciated when the results come in and you can absorb it all.
What message do you think Yellowknifers have sent you with this election? What have you heard from them about what kind of mayor they want you to be?
For me, it's definitely about the stuff that I've heard is that, they really want somebody who's going to work well with bringing all the partners to the table, because we have big challenges coming up, and if we're not working together, then we're not going to get through this. So that's definitely the message I've gotten and what I'm ready to do.
What are you planning on doing first? Have you already sat up at night planning this moment, thinking about what you'll do tomorrow morning come the 16th of October?
I got a few media interviews. And,
well, you're coming on our morning show, right? When are we going to see you tomorrow morning? I'm going to book that right now. On
8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, yep.
8 o'clock, I could be there. Yeah.
Done. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And then, just catching up on all the emails and messages and then, cleaning up, getting my signs down and all that fun stuff that comes after the party.
I just want to ask you as well, you are one of 3 female mayors elected tonight. Lynn Napier-Buckley returned in Fort Smith. We have just heard Natasha Kulikowski elected mayor of Inuvik, Rebecca Alty, mayor of Yellowknife. What does that say?
Wow, that's incredible. I still trying to absorb Yellowknife, so I didn't even know that, and it's amazing. A big inspiration for, I'm sure, a lot of young women out there.
Huge congratulations from us. I don't know if anyone else around this table wants to chip in quickly.
Kate? I am so happy and proud for you, Rebecca. You ran a really excellent campaign.
Thanks, Kate.
Rebecca, I'm not going to tell you who I voted for, but congratulations.
Thanks, Jesse.
I did want to say this, though. We got a message here from Brittany Cruz, and she says to dedicate Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters to you. She says the future mayor, and now you are the mayor. She says she hopes you get to dance around your house like Hugh Grant tonight. So we're going to play some Pointer Sisters for you.
Yeah, I will try that.
Awesome. Congratulations, Rebecca. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks
You're
so
welcome.
much. Talk to you guys later.
Rebecca Alty there speaking to us yesterday evening, telling us she was in an acupuncture session when Adrian Bell was trying to phone her to concede. She only got out afterwards. She only started to find out the results after 9:15. She will be your next mayor of Yellowknife. And there are some ringing endorsements for her. I'll just read out one for you right now. This is Shauna Morgan, who was the most popular council candidate in last night's election. Shauna Morgan said, "People see the need for a long-term view based on strong values of respect, equity, sustainability." So that's very encouraging. I continue to quote Shauna Morgan. She said, "I'm very excited to have Rebecca as our new mayor. I think we will be able to accomplish a lot and have a strong relationship between council and administration." We will hear from Niels Konge and Steve Payne coming up a little later on in the show. This is a Cabin Radio. Mornings at the Cabin election special.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Welcome back. You are listening to a Mornings at the Cabin election special with me, Ollie Williams. This is an hour-long show broadcast at 7 and 8 a.m. to catch you up with everything that happened in last night's municipal elections across the NWT. Now, let's take you through who was voted in across the territory. Natasha Kulikowski is the new mayor of Inuvik. Sean Welly has been elected mayor of Fort Simpson. Lynn Napier-Buckley returns as mayor of Fort Smith. Frank Pope is the new mayor of Norman Wells. And Candice Jameson was acclaimed as the mayor of Hay River. Rebecca Alty is in as the new mayor of Yellowknife, defeating Adrian Bell by around about 800 votes. Quite a significant margin in the end. Now let's hear from one of Rebecca Alty's biggest supporters. That is Niels Konge. He's heading back to council for a third term. He was successfully voted back in. We reached him last night, and he immediately told us just how thrilled he was to have supported Rebecca Alty.
Well, you know what? It's going to be the first time in 6 years where I got a mayor that I really absolutely love. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Tell us more.
Well, you know, I mean, I came out behind Rebecca there about 10 days ago or whatever, and I feel that she's the best choice, and she's going to be our new mayor, and I'm really, really excited about what's going to happen for the next 4 years.
Did you... I mean, looking at the results right now, we'll update people, seeing as we're live on the air. We've had 5,145 votes in. Rebecca Alty has about an 800-vote lead over Adrian Bell. Did you think that it would be that significant a win?
Oh, Ollie. I've been so up and down on that over the last week. You I've worked really well with Rebecca over the last 6 years, and after I watched all the forums and read everybody's platform, and I decided that Rebecca was the best choice for me. I'm pretty excited that she's mayor, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do over the next 4 years.
All right, I want to talk about you a bit more in a second, but just to conclude that, tell me a little more about why you think she is, why you came to the decision that she was your candidate.
I've worked really well with Rebecca on some items in the past. Notably, we worked on dial-a-bus together. I think that's something that we should look at. We worked on youth sports together, and I think that's something that we need to ensure that our youth have, access, affordable access, and I think those things are really important to a good community.
Okay, so you look like you're going to be back on council as well. Now, we already spoke at some length. You came in here and we had a long chat about why you wanted to come back for a third term, but now that it looks like it's going to happen tonight and you've got the mayor that you wanted, as you just told us, what do you think you can achieve over the next few years?
I think that we can work really hard on making Yellowknife a great place, keeping it a great place. I think we need to work on affordability for sure. And I think we need to work on accessibility, not just specifically for youth. That's pretty near and dear to my heart. And I think that, with Rebecca at the helm, we can get a lot of those things done. There's going to be a lot of things that aren't as glamorous. We're going to have to look at our power distribution and our power rates and our franchisees. And, the diamond mines are closing. But I think that with Rebecca there, we're going to get a lot of people to the table. And we're going to come up with some really creative ideas on how to move forward.
How do you feel about losing, Adrian Bell obviously has conceded. He now leaves municipal politics entirely. What do you think about that?
I think that that's a loss to the city of Yellowknife. He was a really engaged councillor and, a really good councillor, frankly. And I think that Yellowknife loses a little bit tonight because both Rebecca and Adrian, they ran for mayor, so one of them is out of politics. So I think that's a loss for the city of Yellowknife. But who knows? I think Adrian's a smart guy, and he'll probably come out and, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again in a year running for territorial politics. Yeah, okay. And just lastly, 4 years instead of 3, it looks like this time. The bylaw looks like it's going to pass. You're going to be on there for till 2022. You're going to be practically pensionable. How do you feel? Yeah, that doesn't impress me much. I was hoping for 3.
Okay. Is there any reason for that other than not wanting to be there any longer?
I think that 3 years is enough, and we should be able to get what we need to get done in 3 years. And if we can't, well, then we probably don't belong there. Okay.
Niels, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. Looks like you're going to be back on council for 4 more years, and we'll let you head off and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for your time.
You bet. Thanks, Ollie.
That is Niels Konge speaking to us last night. We also spoke to Steve Payne, who, like Niels Konge, has been re-elected to Yellowknife City Council. Steve Payne is a teacher. He also owns the Ragged Ass Barbershop. He spoke to us, and we asked him, of course, first how he feels, and a little bit later on we'll hear more from him about how he feels for Adrian Bell.
Well, my heart has been out of my chest the whole night. Very nervous, but I'm happy to be hopefully representing Yellowknife again.
Okay, now, from what you've seen of how City Council is looking to shape up, have you been following the rest of the votes? Have you looked at who you might be working with? What do you think?
You know what? I think we have a really good group. We have, I believe, all 5 incumbents. I believe. Am I right?
I'm getting.
It looks that way. Yeah.
Everybody's doing frantic counting in this room. Yeah, looks that way. Yep.
Yeah, and I've been working with these guys for 3 years, and I'm pretty excited to be working for another 4. Apparently, we're going 4 instead of 3.
And
so
how do you feel about that?
Interesting to hear.
How do you feel about that? You're on a 4-year term now.
It didn't matter to me at all if it was 3 or 4 years. This was a vote by the people, so whatever the public wanted, that's what I was going to do. I'm here to serve the people of Yellowknife.
Well, which way did you vote, Steve?
I voted for 3 years. So, I voted to remain the status quo, but four is fine.
Yeah.
4 is fine.
Okay, that's fair enough. That makes sense. So you're going to be working with Mayor Rebecca Alty. What do you think about that?
You know what? Rebecca is a fantastic person, and I'm looking forward to working with her. She's been a great comrade on council, so it's a good thing. Again, the people of Yellowknife spoke, and I'm excited to work with a new mayor.
Any words for Adrian tonight?
My support was behind Adrian, and I feel a little heartbroken that he didn't get in. But everybody, Rebecca and Adrian, they fought a good fight. It was a really good campaign, and Rebecca came out on top. So, I'm here to support and just move Yellowknife ahead. We got a lot of big decisions coming ahead, so I'm here to support whatever we're going to be doing.
And just a last question before we let you go. I know you've got people to go and see and hang out with back there. You were at Adrian Bell's launch party for his campaign as well. You know him well. Do you think you might take a look at MLA next year?
You know what? I can't comment on what Adrian's going to do. Whatever he's going to do, he definitely has my support, and I think he's an asset to Yellowknife. And if that's the way he wants to go, then I think he'd be fantastic.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.